Hey y'all, so I'm back with another layout, but this time I'm doing it for Maggie, Milo, and Oh Snap Gonzo. They're also known as Lisa and Sandra on YouTube, and I will post links below. But I'm doing it for a challenge, and the challenge is to use an old supply of something that you have on a layout. Now, I hope I'm doing this correctly because I'm using a new collection, but I'm using some things towards the end I use in a new way, and it's new for me. That's not to say that other people haven't done that before. So I hope I do this correctly. And excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm kind of annoyed with the way that I'm talking right now. But I am using the Polka Dot Party collection. So the two papers that you've seen me use that I've matted on top of each other are both from a 12 by 12 pack from Hobby Lobby. The three photos that I chose are from my wedding, and they're the popcorn bar that I had at my. It's the popcorn bar that I have at my wedding, and it's just three different photos that I chose and printed here at home. And I'm just fussy cutting some of these chevron arrows from one of the 12 by 12 sheets in the Polka Dot Party collection. I think probably mostly everything I use with a few Amy Tangerine things that I chose. But mostly everything is from the Polka Dot Party collection. So I'm just placing those underneath the last photo. And I also fussy cutted. I don't even know if that's a word. I also fussy cut these flowers that are from the Polka Dot Party collection. And I really wanted to use this polka dot paper, the white with the yellow mustardy color polka dots, but it just was really big for the paper, so I thought I would go ahead and trim it down. And I do end up trimming that down here in a second. But before I do that, because I can't decide what I want to do, so before I do that, I go ahead and cut a few more arrows, or I had some other arrows laying around, and so I put those at the top right hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that down, and I know it looks crooked, but I end up not liking it just by itself, so I add another paper to that here in a few seconds. So I really like the way those flowers are looking that I fussy cut, and like I really don't spend that much time fussy cutting things because it just gets, I don't know, I think I'm just too impatient for that. And so, but when you spend the time, like it really does end up turning out much better than you plan. And so I really should spend more time doing all my layouts. But I like doing fast layouts, and they're good for me. So here is the paper. This is also from the Polka Dot Party collection, and it's a navy blue. It's kind of like a navy blue paper with some white splatters on it, and it goes along with the theme that I'm using today. So the title of this layout is going to be Popcorn Fun, and the letters that I'm using are Amy Tangerine, and I showed those to you for quite a while. They're called Cutout, and I am placing it on wax paper so that I can get a good look at how I want my title. And I'm glad that I did that because I sometimes don't take the time to do this either. Very rarely do I do this, and I could not figure out where I wanted it, and I kept playing around with the placement, and I even tried in the right bottom corner. I'm glad I didn't do that now. So I end up just doing it. I leave fun there at the bottom, and then I put popcorn at the top. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the flowers down, and then I will go ahead and place my figures down. Now, one of the things you probably notice is I didn't layer a whole lot. It just depends. If I do a lot of layering, I probably don't add as many embellishments. If I do a lot of embellishments, I don't add as much layers, and it's just the way. Sometimes I like to do my things very simple, and so you'll see in this layout I do quite a bit of embellishments, more than I probably usually do. So I wanted to use that wood veneer heart that also came, and along with the fun, it also came in the Polka Dot Party wood veneer collection. And I'm loving these wood veneers. They're big, and they make such a big statement on a layout. So here is the Amy Tangerine thicker stickers, and so I wanted to use something off of this set, and I found this arrow that says Pretty Darn Cool on it, and then I found these little mini arrows as well, and I put those next to that top picture. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop up this this sticker on, they're chipboard stickers, by the way, on a foam dot so it would stand out a little bit. And then I end up using that heart as well. I also like these wood veneer, they're Studio Calico wood veneer cameras, and I wanted to use that as well, so I end up leaving that in the top right hand corner. I don't end up using these little foam embellishments from Martha Stewart collection that I made using my little molds. Excuse me. But I did take some of those Studio Calico, I think they're Studio Calico, they came in a kit. They are like, they're thicker, they're chipboard, and they're asterisks, that's what they are. So here's where it gets complicated. I really wanted to do journaling, but for me, and this is me personally, I think handwriting on journaling, my handwriting doesn't look good ever on journaling. If anything, it ruins the layout. And so I should probably start taking the time to type out some things on papers like before I do, and print them out before I do layouts, but this time I didn't think about that. So what I do is I play around with this tag, and I want to use it, so I think, well, what can I do to kind of dress it up? So I add some ribbon to it. I try to leave it on the layout. I didn't really like that either, so you'll see here in a second. I get pretty frustrated with this. Something about me and tying bows just does not work out at all. So I'll try to loop it through kind of like the tags already or typically are, but I didn't really like that either. So what I end up doing is, here in a second, I'm going to grab a glassine bag, which is what I'm thinking about doing now. And that didn't look so bad right there, but I just felt like it was really off, like it was just in a weird place. And so I think about putting it there, and I sort of liked it, but then it gets a little fast here. So what I do is I put it in the back and then end up actually hiding it to where you can't see it at all. So it's in the back. So the journaling is on the back. If I ever need to go back and read it, it's there, and it has the date on it as well. So here's where the challenge comes in. I used the Swiss Dots Swiss Dots embossing folder, I'm sorry. And I'm cutting a few hearts out of it. And I'm gonna pop those up. I'm gonna pop this one up on foam dots here in a second. And before I do that, I'm gonna trace a bigger heart, and I don't end up liking it, so I don't end up using it. But the reason I chose this is because if you look at any layout that I've ever done, I never use embossing folders on a layout, and like I wish I really would take the time to do that, but it's just that lazy, impatient side comes out in me as far as scrapping. And so I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to use an old product, which is my Big Kick, and that I rarely use, and the embossing folder as well. So I also took some washi tape and placed it on some white paper, and went ahead and cut out some additional hearts with a smaller heart punch, and those are both recollection punches from Michaels, and then I'm adhering those down. So I'm also taking Mr. Huey's opaque white, and I'm splattering that to kind of go along with the rest of the paper, because the paper did already have white splatters on it. And then now for the last part of the challenge, I've never done this, and maybe other people have, but I took some old ribbon that I rarely use, and especially I think I've used them on like 1 or 2 layouts in the past, and I punched a hole I punched 2 holes in the top right hand corner, and I want to do a little bit of a bow. And so it took me a while, so I cut out I cut out part of it, but this is the final layout. Ended up using that, and I actually ended up liking it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and here come the final photos, or the final one photo, sorry. Thank you guys again.